In today's video, I got the honor to try out this top modern table tennis robot, the Omni S Pro. The robot has a very high amount of different functions. For example, it has a lot of built-in programs. It also has a function so you can customize your own exercises in almost any single way you want. And with the app, it got a big library of different table tennis exercises you can practice. So the built-in programs and the customized exercise is possible to create and use both with this iPad and with the Pongbot app, while the big library is only achievable through the app. And of course, the video is going to include some exercises I think you should train with or without the robot, and some advice how to make these exercises as good as possible. But first of all, we need to set it up. And it's not so difficult. You get the instruction, and if I succeed to do it, you should succeed too. And now we start to talk about the built-in programs, which includes basic techniques, it's the combination techniques, and it's a lot more complex techniques. But before starting the review, I just want to say that this is a paid collaboration with Pongbot. So if you're interested to buying this one or another, maybe cheaper option by the Pongbots, I will have a link down here in my descriptions. And hopefully you will be as happy as I am with your robot. We start out with the basic techniques, which is when you decide one point on the table where the ball should come and practice one specific shot. The four options you can practice here is your flick, your push, your forehand and backhand on topspin, and your first attack. And here the robot is absolutely amazing, especially for beginners, but actually for everyone to practice in the technique. You get a lot of repetitions, and you know that the ball will always come back, and this is the perfect way to really be able to learn the technique, because here you have an advantage to have a robot instead of a training partner, since the training partner is sometimes you miss, sometimes your partner is going to miss, and you need to go and pick up the ball. Here you can decide yourself, okay, I want to play 1 minute non-stop, or you can decide how many balls. I want to hit 50 forehands non-stop, and no matter if you hit it or not, you will always just keep on with your practice. And here it's nice that you can decide yourself how often you want the ball to come. You can decide how far to your forehand and to the middle the ball should come, and how long or short it will come. The only disadvantage I would say with this is that the ball comes on the exactly same spot as you tell it. It sounds like it's very good, and of course it's a good thing because you just want to practice in your technique, but it can make you a bit lazy since you are not forced to make the small steps on your feet all the time. So big advice I give you is to, even when you practice a simple thing like this, always be on your toes and always make small jumps to make it more like in a training or real match situation. Another valuable thing with this mode is that you can, by choosing the difficulty, choose if you want to have faster or slower, more spinny or less spinny balls coming against you, which make it possible to customize it more for the training you need. So we move on to the second category of programs, and here is where it gets really interesting in my mind: combined techniques. We already know all the spins and placements the robot can do, and they are the same here, but now you can puzzle them together in any combination you want. So for example, if you want to be improved to move between backhand and forehand, you can play the ball one time in forehand, one time in backhand in any speed you want. So for your help, here is 3 combinations I think you should really put in your table tennis practice to improve further, no matter if you use a robot or if you do it with the training partner. The first combination is to get the ball short with backspin in either backhand or forehand, and then long with backspin in the other corner. And here it's very important to think of getting really close to the table on the short one. Get in under the table with your racket side foot and take the ball directly on the bounce. When you're done hitting the ball, you need to push yourself out and take some space from the table to really be able to be behind the ball and have your weight forward when you make your attack on backspin. The second combination I think is very important to practice is a topspin against backspin, and directly after a topspin against topspin. Here you can decide yourself if you want to make both of the topspin with your backhand, both of the attacks with your forehand, or one each. For example, maybe you want to attack on backspin with your forehand and then on topspin with your backhand. And here it's very important that when you attack on backspin, you need to go a bit deeper in your legs and have your movement a bit more upwards, while when you get the topspin ball, you need to force your attack more forwards. And the third exercise I recommend you is just to play one backhand, one forehand, and increase the speed as much as possible. Later, I want you to do this exercise even more when the ball can come randomly anywhere, because to be fast between backhand and forehand is extremely important to be a good table tennis player today, especially since the game is much faster than before, where you could, for example, play forehand over almost all of the table. With the complex techniques, you get 3 layers of different balls who will come against you. There's a big amount of options of different combinations you can try. For example, you can get a short ball to your forehand and then a long ball to your backhand and a long to your forehand, or in any other way you want to try of the exercises existing here in the iPad or in the app. The complex techniques also have something called the random zone, and here the balls will shoot random, only limited for the limitations you decide. For example, you can decide to get topspin ball all over the table, you can decide to get backspin balls all over the table, or you can let it shoot all over the table with any spin it wants. You can also decide which part of the table you want to limit the balls to come on. For example, you can get the balls on 70% of the table or 50% of the table if you prefer. My favorite exercise is probably to just get topspin balls all over the table. If you want to practice your block, you can just try to get in the correct position, always be behind the ball, not use your arm too much, but use your body. But you can also get the ball a little bit slower to try to attack on every single ball on random placements instead. And here you can of course do it in any speed you want, so it's customized for the level you are at. Sometimes maybe you want to have it a bit slower to make sure that you can handle the speed and get very good technique and good hits all the time. And sometimes you want to pressure yourself, so you put a little bit more speed on the ball than you are used to, maybe a little more speed than you can handle. So you force yourself to improve and really be on your toes, really use your body and keep your view forward to get correct to every shot. Let's move on to talk about the customized program. In the customized program, you decide yourself how you want the ball to come. This means that you can decide the height of the ball, the speed of the ball, the placement, the length, the spin, the frequency. And you can do this and decide if you want to have just a single ball coming all the time, or if you want this as a combination with up to 7 different kind of balls coming from the robot. Here's an example of something I created myself. I call it the Maestro combo. And here I start with getting 2 short balls to receive it short, and then I get out from the table to attack on a long backspin one, before it comes one fast to my forehand, one fast to my backhand, and one to the middle. So I get to practice several different parts of my game and to come correct to every single ball. And now, when you have created these customized balls, you can decide yourself if you want them to come in order, or if you want the robot to shoot the balls random, but between the customized shots you have created. So here you can, for example, practice that you have no idea if the ball will come short or long, or you can get balls all over the table. I have a little advice using this randomness in the customized function, and it is to not have the ball at the same placement and speed with different kind of spins, because it will be very hard for you to realize if the robot actually shoots backspin or topspin if it's on the same placement. Instead, use it to practice your footwork, practice to be fast, practice to be ready for short and long balls, and anything like that. And it's a very cool function because you can practice basically any shot you want. You can practice serve receives, you can practice first attacks. It's up to you what you want to do. So we move on and check the library of drills. And here you have a very, very high amount of different drills. And it's a very good way for you to get inspiration on what you actually want to practice. And here you can do anything from regular practice you maybe do in your normal table tennis training, like one ball in each, or the Falkenberg where you play one from backhand, turn around, and then the ball to your forehand, or to more conventional exercises like different kind of spins, different kind of placements all the time. And here you can see a lot of the different drills that exist in the library. So as you can see, your options are very many. So I really recommend you to just check the library, see if it's something that's interesting, and if it's something that maybe sounds special, it's worth to try it. Many of them are very good, and yeah, I definitely recommend you to try many of the different exercises, because maybe you will find a new favorite exercise you didn't know existed before. To come to some conclusions, I have to admit that I am pretty blown away about how many good things you're able to practice with this robot, and I definitely wish that I had it 15-20 years ago, because I would have used it so much. I'm very happy with how easy it is to use the robot with help of both the iPad or by the app. Of course, you need some time to adjust and get used to it, but just try it out as much as possible and experiment, and with just a little bit of time you can do almost anything you want, and it will be pretty simple. And once again, if you are interested in buying this or another robot by the Pongbots, I will have a link down here in my description.